Hey everybody, going to do another mask review today. This week I'm going to talk about the Vents avatars, a set of which I have right here. This is my mask, my present mask. This is the Vents avatars. And I'll just give you the rundown. First and foremost, most important thing is protection. And this mask is pretty excellent. It's kind of a semi-rigid rubber, so you can see the sides have a little give to them, but you're not going to get smacked in the face if you get hit. The jawline coverage is definitely sufficient. Let me just show you real quick. Okay. Not as good as the mask I reviewed a couple weeks ago, the V-Force Vantage, but still pretty good. I've never taken too bad a jawline shot with this. The coverage in the chin is just fine. It's low enough. This is really nice, the forehead protector that it comes with. I'll talk more about that later, but that keeps you from getting hit right above the lens there. And the ear protection, definitely sufficient. So overall, the protection is excellent, and of course the lens, your eyes are good. I've never had a problem with that, which shouldn't be the case, because that's the whole point of a mask in the first place. But the lens itself, I really like the lenses on these. You get a nice wide field of view. You can see there just how far back the lens goes to either side, so you get a nice wide field of view, and that's really nice. You have a lot of options as far as colors. You can get a clear lens for dark or indoor games. I prefer a nice yellow or amber lens for most days, especially if it's overcast, but also works fine on sunny days. And also you can get a tinted or smoke lens or something for those bright sunny summer days. Plenty of options. They're not all that expensive. Also, thermal lenses. Very nice, true dual-pane thermal lenses. I've only ever had fogging occur on this mask about twice, and both times it was literally, it was a very humid day, and it was literally like misting. You know, so it happens, but it has to be under the worst possible conditions. As far as comfort goes, I find this mask very comfortable for a number of reasons. The foam is very nice. It's fairly soft. But unlike a lot of masks that I've worn, it doesn't tend to move around or come off. It's pretty solid on there, which is nice. There's plenty of room on the inside, but it doesn't constrict your breathing at all, which is really good. The venting in the front, let me just show you from the inside there, plenty in there, so your breathing is unhindered, which is good. And I kind of mentioned this a minute ago, but around the ears, sufficient ear coverage without, pressing on it too hard. So those are all good things. I find it really comfortable, and of course the strap is, fine. It is what it is. You gotta replace it every so often if it gets loose or wears out or something. But it's a decent strap. It's pretty much the same as you're gonna find with most masks. One really good feature with this mask that I really like is the lens change. It's absolutely securely locked in here when it's on, but in order to change it, it's a very quick, easy process. So I'm just going to demonstrate that real quick and kind of narrate. So on the inside, here's the way the clips work. First, you have this little clip in here, this little guy. You just pop that right off, this little clip. Okay? And then what you need to do is turn this clip that actually holds the strap in place, turn that sideways, and that'll pop out this guy right here. Once you do that for both sides, okay, you have both sides done, and the lens, now it's sitting in there, it's in this little groove that keeps it in place, you can see, but it's ready to pop right out. So all you do is just kind of grab it, pop it out. Done. And to put it back in, it's simply the same process in reverse. One thing you do have to keep in mind when you're replacing the lens in these masks is around the nose. You have to make sure that it doesn't sit like this, where it's kind of out of its groove right around the nose. You kind of have to bend the mask forward a little bit and make sure the edge of the lens gets under the material on the nose. Otherwise, it's not properly locked in place. So that can be a little bit of a challenge if you don't know to look for it. But as long as you pay attention to it, shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm just going to replace these clips here and then get on with the rest of this. One side done. Pop that back in. Done. Okay, lens is back in place. That was pretty simple. As I said, it's got these nice little grooves you can see around the edge here, right in there, that actually help hold the lens in place when it's locked, which is an excellent feature. And I didn't mention this when I talked about the material a few minutes ago, but because this is only a semi-rigid rubber for the most part, you do actually catch quite a few bounces off this, which is something you don't experience with a lot of masks, so that's a nice feature. As far as the durability goes, I've used this for 2 full years now, I think, over 2 full years, and it's still holding together pretty well, so I can't complain about the durability. When you get it, it includes a lens, a thermal lens. It includes a nice microfiber bag for the whole package. It includes this forehead guard, which is extremely nice. And it also includes a visor, which sticks out, keeps the sun out of your eyes, but doesn't provide the level of forehead protection, which is why I prefer to use the forehead guard and a tinted lens if I need to, rather than relying on the visor to keep the sun out of my eyes. The only real downside to this that I've dealt with is also having to do with the forehead guard. When you put a visor or some kind of guard or something on a lot of masks, I'm thinking mostly V-Force masks. I've owned Vantage and Profilers that have this feature. The little tabs that go through, see these little slits in there? It has these little tabs that go through those. Oftentimes what you can do is you can stick it through and then lock it with a small O-ring that goes around it beneath these little slots. And that'll keep it in place. This doesn't have that, so if you want, you can pretty much pull this right out. I've had it displaced by like a string of solid hits, 2 or 3 paintballs hit it at the same time and it kind of loosens on you, which is fine. You just, pop it right back into place. But it would be nice to have the option to use an O-ring to lock it. What I might end up doing is just drilling a couple holes and doing it with zip ties, because I don't tend to remove it anyway unless I really get paint in there and have to clean it. But that's really the only downside I've experienced with this mask. Overall, it's a fantastic mask. Like I said, the fogging is absolutely minimal. I've only experienced it twice, one of which was last weekend at Castle Conquest at EMR. Anyone who was there knows that it was so humid you were basically swimming around that field all day long, so everybody was fogging. It happens. And not only does the lens help with that, but it has these 2 little baffles in here, these little guys, and that basically has to do with directing airflow. So when you exhale, the airflow goes downward instead of back up towards the lens. Another interesting feature here. And the one last thing is the price. I think these run about $70 now. I think about $70. So it's not the top of the line mask you can get in this kind of form. That would be the Empire events, and those are about $100. They have a couple new different features. They have soft ears rather than it being contiguous with the rest of the mask. They have a different pattern of venting in the mouth area. I think they have more vents kind of in here maybe. It's just a little different. But this is kind of a step down from that, but it's still above something like I reviewed last time, the V-Force Vantage. It's certainly a step or 2 up from that. So it's very much a very well-made, well thought out middle price line kind of mask, and I can highly recommend it. It is my mask of choice right now. Thanks for watching.